The first 18,000 fans at the Mets Athletics game on April 11th will get a Juan Soto bobblehead celebrating his 40-30 season, courtesy of Citi. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets. So Soto can't go on the IL. Can't be on the IL for your bobblehead. Luis Torrens leads off in the fifth.
I think Soto wants to be back. It seemed very positive, very optimistic, as did Carlos. Cautiously optimistic for Carlos.
Torrens driven a run with a ground out his first time up. That's got 3 runs, all 3 coming home on infield grounders. That's lined to the left center, a base hit for Torrens. Well, Luis Torrens continues to produce every time he's called upon. 3 hits in his first 8 at-bats of the season.
He sure does. What a valuable asset to the team. Plus defender. Very, very good with the pitching staff. And gets in there, just puts together quality at-bats. We didn't really talk about the first at-bat, but just putting it in play to the right side was enabled them to get that run home. Nice job. He always stays down through the baseball well. Eyes right on it.
Francisco Lindor takes the back to a cutter outside. Lindor's been up twice, struck out both times, looking in the first, swinging in the second. Roupp has struck out 6 through the first 4 innings. He's given up 3 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits.
Lindor strikeouts, backdoor curveball right there, and a really good one. And then the changeup that just sinks out of the zone. Francisco thought it was there, but it wasn't.
Swings over a 2-0 changeup.
About the same pitch right there. You can see, thinks it's that sinker at the bottom of the zone, and then a little bit of off speed, and then the ball just dips below the hitting zone.
Just are no fastball counts anymore, are there?
No. The more I watch Roupp pitch, the more he reminds me of Aaron Nola with the arm angle, the sinker, the changeup, the cutter from that same tunnel, and then the 3-quarter with the curveball gets such great movement and unusual movement for a guy that throws that kind of curveball.
I see the Nola comparison because the arm angle is similar. The difference, of course, is that Nola will throw that 4-seamer at the top of the zone, whereas Roupp is more of a sinker ball guy.
Uses the sinker and the changeup off the sinker. It's more so the angle of the curveball.
This is that one. Stayed outside. It's 3-2. Roupp has walked 1, struck out 6. Bichette on deck, then Polanco behind him.
Is Gelb's back in line?
Did he get it at the Doggy Diner? Is that where it came from? Rounded down to first. Encarnacion knocks it down, and it's picked up by Roupp, who makes the play. Nice save by the pitcher after Encarnacion got his glove on it but couldn't squeeze it. So that's a 3-1 putout for the second out.
Sometimes when you're inexperienced at a position, I can relate to this. It seems like the ball finds you all day long. Never an easy plays. Made a couple of decent plays, but they never seem easy.
Torrens moves up to second with 1 out. Here's Bo Bichette, who's struck out and lined out to right.
Lindor busting down the line, try to get there. A little short step right there.
Just don't need any more leg problems. We got Soto on the shelf with a calf, and Polanco playing through an Achilles.
A little short step right there, a little toe step can kind of cause a little bit of discomfort to the quad. This is why he was touching it.
Bichette lines one toward the middle. Pass to Donis into center field. A base hit. Torrens around third. He'll come in to score. Bo Bichette with an RBI single, and it's 4-0 New York. Well, Bo entered the day just 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position, beginning to amp that up back toward his career numbers.
He's driven in runs without runners in scoring position as well with the double last night with the runner on first. That's a good job of staying on the curveball. His last at bat, he got a curveball and lined it hard to right, so he's seeing that ball well. Roupp Probably wants that one back.
And I just say this, what a difference. Watching Mason Wynn play shortstop and now watching Willy Adames play shortstop.
Yeah, Mason Wynn seems to get to everything. Can make the fancy play, but can also make the routine play. And then has that cannon of an arm to go with it.
That fortunate hit to beat the Mets on Wednesday, and that was involved in an auto crash on a wet road, a single car collision, but fortunately he came away from that okay. But then he hurt himself the next game. He said it was unrelated to the car accident.
Bo staying back, going to get that curveball, hitting it up the middle. You try to pull that, you hit a ground ball. But it didn't quite get where Roupp wanted it to. He wanted it down a little bit more, and he left it a little bit over the plate. Bo was able to do something with it.
Now with 5 hits in the game, here's Polanco, who's 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. He banks 1 foul. In his first start, Roupp did not give up a hit with a runner in scoring position. That helped him through 6 scoreless innings. He's given up 2 already in this game. The backfield curveball finds the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes to Polanco. I mean, that's a pitch as a hitter. You just have to tip your hat to the pitch.
You do, because it's an easy one to give up on.
I mean, how are you going to hit that ball? Braves got another great pitching performance today from Bryce Elder. 7 innings, 4 hits. They beat Arizona 2-1. Mets will see the Diamondbacks next week at Citi Field. They are really struggling. 6 of their 9 games they've scored 2 runs or fewer. Corbin Carroll's hitting and nobody else is. And they've got 11 guys on the injured list already. Takes us to the road ahead presented by Infinity. Diamondbacks in for 3 starting on Tuesday night, and then the A's come in for 3. The A's big hitters are struggling. McCurts and Brent Rooker off to very slow starts. We've got Jeff McNeil hitting 7th in that order. They've got Kurtz hitting leadoff, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
After all the home runs as a rookie last year. Polanco along at bat. He's had a few of those this year. And that curveball stays outside, and now it's 3-2. Polanco's been a much more aggressive hitter in the past, but he's drawn his share of walks early on. Bichette at first with 1 out. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Not running, and Polanco fouls off the changeup to stay in.
That's a good job to spoil that pitch. That's a very good 3-2 changeup right there. Very similar to the one that got Lindor.
Ryan Barucki, the left-hander, up in the Giants bullpen. Roupp up to 90 pitches. He threw 88 in his first start in San Diego on Monday. And Polanco with a weak cut at the curveball, and he goes down swinging. Second time he's been struck out. That's 7 now for Roupp. 2 out in the inning.
When you roll the dice sometimes, you see that curveball, he thinks it's a fastball. That's why he goes to the emergency hack once he realizes it's the curveball. 3-2. As you've said, there's no fastball counts anymore, so you got to expect anything. That's a good 3-2 curveball.
Now Brett Baty, who's struck out and flied out 0 for 2. And he gets a curveball and pulls it into right field for a base hit. Bichette pulls in at second as Lee throws it in. So Brett Baty has his 2nd hit in this series, and the Mets have their 3rd hit in the inning. How much further will Tony Vitello go with Landon Roupp?
Curveball, good job by Baty to stay back on that ball. Got a little off the end of the bat just because of that great break. Big spin rate on that curveball, but he stays back enough to get off the end of the bat and poke it through the hole.
So now Vientos is already 2 for 2 today. Pulled a double and then had a broken bat single the other way. He takes a curveball for a strike. Vientos challenging that strike call. That's first challenge of the day, and it's a successful one. Turns a strike into a ball.
That's one that I could see getting challenged at times because it does have that great spin. breaks late, sometimes it could look like a strike coming across the plate.
That turns 0-1 into 1-0, and Vientos tops one foul. Tim Leeper, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tim Leeper worked for the Giants a few years ago in their farm system before going to San Diego, where he was their third base coach.
Guys, we saw Mark Vientos successfully challenged last night as well. After the game, Carlos Mendoza said that really showed him just how well Vientos is seeing the ball right now.
Takes one the other way, and that'll go through for a base hit. Around third comes Bichette, coming to the plate. Lee's throw goes to third. Arriving there safely is Baty. Mark Vientos is 3 for 3, and the Mets have a 5-0 lead. Wide open hole on the right side, and Vientos able to take it the other way to drive in his 3rd run of the year.
Great job by Mark Vientos. Obviously seeing the ball well, as Steve was just alluding to. That's that cutter on the outside corner. Doesn't try to pull. If he tries to pull, that's a ground ball to shortstop. Instead stays through it. Big hole on that right side. The Mets last couple of days have continued to show why you put the ball in play. Good things happen. Good read by Baty. Picks up the third base coach, keeps on coming. That ball right in front of him, I think he should have been going all the way. He knew he had a chance to get to third.
Pitching change for the Giants. Called to the bullpen, brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. Roupp out, Barucki in. We'll be right back. Like Rainbow Row in Charleston. Ryan Barucki in to pitch. Tyrone Taylor pinch hitting for Jared Young. Let's have 2 runs home in the 5th as Barucki takes over for Roupp.
Barucki last time out, only 3 pitches in 2/3 of an inning. In his 9th season. Left-hander is going to give you a sinker, slider, and a split finger as well.
Way to Taylor, a ball and a strike. Tyrone had 4 at-bats last night after Soto got hurt, looking for his first hit of the season. Got 0 for 9. Gets jammed by that slider, and it's 1-2. So Roupp threw 95 pitches over 4 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 5 runs so far. 3 of them earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. So Taylor batting for Young. That'll not only bring a right-hand hitter in, but also shore up the Mets' outfield defense with a 5-0 lead. So we mentioned earlier how inexperienced the Mets' outfield was. Here's how inexperienced. Coming into today, Young had never started a game in the outfield. Baty had started 1 game in the outfield, and Bench had started 6. The 7 combined starts for the outfield are the fewest ever for a starting outfield in Mets history. It's hit in the air to deep left center field. Back goes Ramos to the warning track at the wall. It's out of here! Tyrone Taylor with a 3-run pinch hit home run. Taylor blows the doors off the game, and it's 8-0 New York. First hit of the year for Tyrone, who only had 2 home runs all last year, and he hits a 3-run pinch hit bomb.
So great for Tyrone Taylor. You know he feels frustration. He's a great outfielder. He's a great teammate. He's always ready to play. He struggled offensively most of the season last year. Had some tough at-bats this season. Man, you can see the elation on his face and how happy his teammates are for him because they know what a valuable guy this is.
No Soto, no problem for this Mets offense. They set a season high with 15 hits last night, 8 runs and 8 hits tonight. Semien lines one the other way, and he's got a base hit. So Marcus Semien, after 3 hits last night, has 2 more tonight, and the Mets have 6 hits in this inning.
And Tyrone sitting back on the splitter. When we said he'll throw it, that ball stayed middle, and he does a great job with 2 strikes and staying back on that. A mistake pitch by Barucki, but Tyrone Taylor makes him pay. Deepest part of the ballpark for a right-handed hitter.
Now Carson Bench, the 9th man up in the inning.
Tyrone.
5th career pinch hit home run for Tyrone Taylor. I mentioned the other night when he was starting against the lefties how much he struggled against lefties last year, very much against type. hit just .211 with no home runs against lefties last season. And he gets one in the second week of the season.
See that emotion on his face right there. I'm sure a lot coming out in that celebration going around the bags.
Carson Bench hit the ball hard his last time up, lined out to right field. Reached on there to drive in a run in the second. That's with 5 runs and 6 hits in this inning. Torrens got it started. Bichette drove in a run, and then with 2 out, Baty, Vientos, Taylor, and Semien with 4 straight hits. And a full count to Bench, and Torrens, who started out this inning, is now on deck.
It's been decent at bat for Carson Bench against the lefty, staying in there on the slider.
Semien gets set to run. 3-2 coming, and he struck him out with a slider. The inning comes to an end, but 9 Mets came to bat, and 5 of them scored, 3 of them on Tyrone Taylor's home run. It's 8-0 halfway through.